In this video, we're going to be showing you how to win more pickleball games by showing you how and when to hit a deceptive speed up in pickleball.
And be sure to stay to the end because we have a massive giveaway that you don't want to miss. Let's roll. So first, let's talk about what is a speed up. For the sake of this video, what we're talking about is when you're at the kitchen line and you're dinking and maybe your opponent gives you a ball that's a little more attackable. So maybe that dink bounces a little higher, or they pop a ball up that you can be aggressive with. That's what we mean by speed up in this video. But it's important to note that when you speed the ball up, especially at a higher level, the speed up is not the one that you're trying to hit a winner on. Rather, the speed up is going to set up a ball that you can come in and put away. So really, you're just kind of changing the pace and putting it in an uncomfortable spot for your opponents. And be sure to stay to the end of the video because we're going to reveal 3 secret locations where you want to speed the ball up.
The biggest mistakes I see beginners make with the speed up is they'll get to the kitchen line and it's like they get speed up happy. They just want to hit a speed up off of every dink. And that's a really big mistake because you become so predictable and your opponents at that point can counter the ball really easily because they're prepared for what's going to happen. So it's really important to identify when to hit a speed up. So the first situation where you want to hit a speed up is going to be off of a ball that bounces. So what you want to look for with a speed up off the bounce is what we like to call a dead dink. This is a looping dink that loops high over the net and then it bounces off the ground and it bounces up to net height or above. This dink is not going to have a lot of spin on it, a lot of action on it, so it's going to be a pretty easy one to speed up. Another time you want to speed up the ball, which is actually, in my opinion, the most advantageous time to speed up the ball, is actually out of the air. What you want to look for here is a ball that's going deeper, means it coming to your body, deeper into the kitchen that you can reach in, and it's again at net height or above. That is the most opportune speed up because your opponents have way less time to react since you're not letting that ball bounce.
So now we're going to talk about technique. When it comes to hitting this speed up, it's really important to disguise the shot. And one of the ways you do that is by eliminating a big backswing. So you see I'm dinking here, and then when I want to speed the ball up, right there, you see how I didn't take a big backswing, okay? It created a pop-up, but it almost looked exactly like my dink, and then I just accelerated forward and added pace to the ball. When you're doing a speed up, try not to telegraph it with a big backswing because when you do that, you're also more likely to hit the ball out. This court isn't that big, and again, the initial speed up is probably not the winner, but you're just trying to set up that ball that you can put away.
Now, another thing you want to remember with this shot is it can be risky. Now, I know we always talk about how you should never use your wrist for dinks, but the reason why using your wrist on a speed up, especially if it's out of the air, is it's a lot more deceptive. So if we're dinking and I get a high ball that comes at my body, just using my wrist, it's such a small movement, that's going to help keep the ball in and give me just enough to change the pace of the ball. That small motion with your wrist is what's going to be very sneaky and hard for your opponents to identify that speed up is coming.
All right, now let's talk about what I believe is the best speed up you could hit, and that's speeding the ball up out of the air. When you take the ball out of the air, you take time away from your opponents, and quite frankly, you can create a lot of angles and you can really get the ball down at their feet. But which balls should you take out of the air? I see a lot of people overreaching into this kitchen. Now, I want you to think about if you had a bubble. If you were to hold your paddle straight out in front of you and you were to draw a bubble around yourself, you do not ever want to try to speed a ball up in which you're outside of your bubble. When you're outside of your bubble, you see what happens. My chest comes down, and now I'm having to hit up on the ball. A good player is probably going to recognize that. They're going to get their paddle up and be ready to counter. So when it comes to hitting a speed up, out of the air, you want to pick a ball that you can make contact with your chest nice and tall in that contact point zone. And also you want to select a ball that's maybe at net height or higher. If it happens to be below net height, well, you're really going to have to get low, keep that chest up, and add extra spin in order to keep it in.
The last thing you want to remember with the technique of this shot is that this is not necessarily your winner, and you're going to want to make sure that you are ready for the next ball. So when you speed the ball up, especially when you play at a higher level, that ball is typically going to be coming back, and all you're looking to do is make the other team more uncomfortable and wait for that next ball that looks good for you to actually hit your winner on. A lot of times speed ups will just initiate a counterattack or firefight or even just getting off balance, and that's when you want to look to really close for that winner.
When I first heard this pickleball concept, it absolutely transformed my game, and it's called zero forward. The zero forward concept is going to radically affect your ability to create deception on your speed up. What I mean by this is that if I were to place the paddle here into a neutral position, anytime I pull the paddle back, we're gonna call that negative space. Anytime I push the paddle forward, we're gonna call that positive space. So in order to do zero forward, you're gonna find zero, which is that neutral position, and you're gonna go from zero forward, meaning you don't wanna pull that paddle back into negative space. This applies to a speed up off the bounce or a speed up out of the air. So the next time you're dinking, go ahead and try to find zero, and then if you wanna speed the ball up, instead of lifting, you're just gonna flick forward right from zero. When you implement zero forward, I guarantee you it will transform your speed ups and you're gonna win more points.
Now I'm gonna break down the top secret spots that will undoubtedly win you points if you aim here with your speed ups. Now the first one is going to be the paddle shoulder. So this is a very hard spot to defend, and this is often when you see somebody chicken winged. Another one's gonna be the paddle side hip. Again, this is a very hard spot to defend, so you don't know whether to hit forehand or backhand, so that causes a lot of confusion. And another spot is actually going to be sideline when your opponents are cheating middle, or if their back starts turning, again, going on their backside. The other spot that I would look for situationally is if there is a gap down the middle of the court between your opponents. That's a great time to go middle. A situation that I would be hesitant to speed up is going speed up with a cross court shot. The reason being, if you speed up cross court, that ball is typically going to go straight ahead right to your partner. And because they didn't initiate that speed up, they might not be ready for that ball coming fast at them. So those are situations that I would speed up and situations that I wouldn't speed up. Thanks so much for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe to the PlayPickleball.com YouTube channel.
And as we mentioned at the beginning of the video, we have a massive giveaway for you guys. We're gonna be giving away $200 worth of Selkirk store credit to 5 lucky winners. If you want a chance to win, find the link in the description below, and we'll see you on the next one.